Hi YouTube, it is your girl Lexi, and I really wanted to come on. Yes, it's in the middle of the day today, and I'm not doing a live right now because I wanted to speak out to WWE. So I have made no qualms since I originally started doing broadcasting, and well, not broadcasting, but uploading videos at the start of this year, that I have been an avid WWE fan. I did a rant and review of the Extreme Rules the other night, but I wanted to go ahead and do a rant and review of the WWE product. And I have Chris Prolific, so at Chris Prolific on Twitter if you're a WWE fan or a wrestling fan in general. I have him to thank for this because he said it prophetically. He said, if you are unhappy with what you're seeing, stop watching the product. And that resonated with me. I didn't take it as a jab. I didn't take it as a dig. I took it in the sense of, I'm going to make a video. And I'm going to make a video about how I feel and how I perceive the WWE culture to feel. So, I was in a Wrestling Inc.'s podcast last night, listening, reviewing. I watched it on YouTube, so shout out to Wrestling Inc. They may ban me from their channel after this, but I don't care. But I was in the chat room and I asked a very poignant question. For those of you who do not know, Chris Prolific is an African American correspondent for WWE and all things wrestling, meaning he speaks to people like me on YouTube. He does podcasts. This is his job while he's getting his doctorate in, I believe it's psychology. That being said, I gave him a pressing question, was how do you feel given the statements that have been funneling out, trickling out of the statements that were made by Hulk Hogan himself on Extreme Rules, at the Extreme Rules backstage. I didn't say it to him, but I did ask him basically from one African American to, I don't even know why I just said African American, but from one black person to another, how do you feel? His response was, I will never forgive what he did, but I forgive him. He is a brother in Christ. I respect that, Chris, but what I'm going to say to you is he is not Christ-like. He being Hulk Hogan. I made the assertion, and I'm so happy that more wrestling outlets are coming up and saying, no, that wasn't the first time that he has said that on a recorded line. When he called, and I recall saying that his daughter came out saying that he had used that type of offensive language before, but there are recordings of his son being in jail, and his son called his dad and he uttered that rhetoric. So this is a normalcy for Hulk Hogan. The difference is he was never called out on it. That is the biggest thing about this. And no matter if you're a wrestling fan or not, if you are a minority, if you are anyone who would feel a certain way about something, this is for you. Because here we have a man who built his career on millions, we're not going to say tens of thousands, but millions of fans who look like me. Little boys and girls who started wrestling school, went through the chops, did OVF, did Florida Wrestling, did Ohio Valley Wrestling, did all the wrestling channels, Canadian Wrestling, New Japan Wrestling, Lucha Wrestling. All of these people looked up to Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan does not have that same level of respect for the people who made him who he was. We didn't make you a racist. And I'm gonna say it. Nobody else will say it. And WWE, guess what? Yes, I don't have that many followers. This may not go viral. It may. But at the same token, this is about WWE listening to their fans. I am almost, it's going to be, was past tense probably in a matter of minutes, but I am a subscriber to WWE. I am a faithful subscriber. You guys get my money from it every single month. And that being said, it is very important that, yeah, I'm not a stakeholder. I don't own stock options for you guys, but I do pay your bills. I pay your bills. My monthly subscription, every time you guys come to Las Vegas, I'm on the floor. I'm not in the nosebleeds. I am on the floor. I've got the ticket receipts, the parking passes to prove it. In the past 2 years, WWE has been in Vegas 4 times. I have probably spent anywhere from $3 to $4 grand on just those 4 times. My company, the company I work for, knows that I am such an avid wrestling fan that they opened up their suite at one of the venues that you guys were at just so I and my nephew and my boss and her son could enjoy the event. So for you to sit up here and in one breath, WWE, have Finn Balor do this campaign for LGBTQ community, but at the same breath, you guys come back and you have Hulk Hogan. He has never come out publicly, stood in front of the cameras. I don't care if he read it from a teleprompter, but things seem to happen when you get people on record. He has never come out publicly and said, you know what, I am the biggest asshole jerk in the world, and you the fans, you, the WWE universe, deserve better. And you're gonna get better from this day forward. I see that person who I was, because he's never said that he has changed. So I need him to come out and say, I see the person that I was, and I was a horrible person. I was a bad person. Because now every parent who sat up there night after night, went to these live events with their young little black boys and girls and Hispanic boys and girls, Asian boys and girls, gotta wonder if this asshole was being a prick behind the scenes, saying shit under his breath about their kids. This is more than just a word. This is a train of thought. This is a mind state. And WWE, in the climate that we're in, if you were willing to fire Enzo Amore for being accused, you didn't have it on tape. He wasn't at a drunken rant talking about, yeah, I plugged her, she didn't want it, but I took it anyway. You didn't have that evidence, and you kicked this man out unceremoniously. But this person, you guys are making excuses, and I'm sorry, but a lot of the wrestling commentators who are on YouTube, you guys are making excuses too. Well, it was 3 years ago. I don't give a damn. So it was 3 years ago that he got caught. That's what you're saying to me. That is what you're saying. 3 years ago, somebody caught him and put him on blast. That is what you're saying to me. But there is a history behind this man saying it. The fact that your WWE wrestlers who represent people like me are coming out and saying, I'm happy that he came back there and gave his little 2-minute apology speech, but he needs to do more. And I have heard, again, I have heard people talking about he needs to tour, he needs to talk to at-risk youth. No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to talk to any youth. He needs to stay away from the kids. He needs to do a lot more than that. And by the way, I hope it is a ridiculous rumor, But that rumor that is going around that he offered to manage the Velveteen Dream, that's a slap in the face. And I'm happy that if the rumors are true, the Velveteen Dream turned that crap down. F you. No, you are not going to have Uncle Sam in a new Jim Crow era representing one of the best talents you have. That is ridiculous, WWE. It's hard because I love your brand so much and I am so passionate about your brand. And for you as a company to sit up here and basically say, thank you for your money, thank you for the time, F you, he's great. I'm not saying take away his Hall of Fame, but until he has proven in his actions, we shouldn't have to tell him what to do. When you're trying to be a good person and when you're trying to change, you go out and you do things and people see it. And they don't see any monetary gain behind it. This was nothing more than a money grab for Hulk Hogan. And if the rumors are true, the reports are true, and Titus O'Neil stomped out, Titus, thank you so much for that. The fact that you walked away, the fact that Mark Henry has gone on record to saying, yeah, I heard it, I was there, he needs to do more. Thank you. For the New Day, for Xavier Woods, Big E, and Kofi, thank you. Thank you. Because you know what? It takes strong men like you to say that. Because when someone like me, so I don't think Alicia Fox is going to speak out. Not because she doesn't feel a certain way, but when you are an African-American woman or a black woman like me, you get knocked down 5 more pegs. So gentlemen, I thank you so much for standing up and standing out and saying, I'm so happy. It's not for us to say who goes in and out of the Hall of Fame. I don't care about him being in the Hall of Fame. Y'all probably have some of the most staunch racists up in there with the KKKs on both sides. You probably got black people who are racist, Asians who are racist. And there are probably people who done did some foul mess in your Hall of Fame. That's not for me to say who should be in the Hall of Fame. But what I'm saying is, please do not cram Hulk Hogan down our throats. Please do not put Hulk Hogan on the TV. Please do not have Hulk Hogan going to these live events. If he want to go to WrestleMania and make a cute coin, sign some damn autographs, but from what I heard, anytime he was doing that without y'all, he wasn't getting no money. So be it. But please do not make him a poster boy anymore. It's done, data. The same way that Ric Flair is a womanizer and everybody is like, yo, y'all ain't messing with Ric Flair anymore on the smooth tip. We caught that. The same way that y'all quickly changed the name of Fabulous Moolah when it was coming out that she was nothing more than a madam, pimping out half of the female roster back in the day, is the same way that you need to treat Hogan. Remove him from the TV. Remove him from doing all of that. Just please. It's disheartening because this is such a good product. And the greatest thing about WWE that a lot of people don't realize, and this is why my boss now allows her son to watch the WWE network. By the way, yes, my boss is African American and her son is too. But the reason why is because I told her, I said, WWE isn't afraid to show you the raw. They're not afraid to say, hey, this guy was a superstar, i.e. Jeff Hardy, i.e. Chris Benoit, and they messed up in life. Kids, don't be like this person. That's the same tactic you need to have with Hulk Hogan. You do not need to have this tactic with Hulk Hogan made a mistake. No, that was not a mistake. That word did not slip out of his mouth. It is part of his regular vocabulary. And it is up to you. WWE to make him realize that you just can't sit in timeout in a corner for 3 years and then come back and say, oh, okay, you're all better now. Everybody forgot. We didn't forget. We just weren't out protesting and paving in the streets. But the fact that people keep talking about this, just like people keep talking about Fabulous Moolah, and y'all did it for the Me Too movement, guess what? There is still a movement called All Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter. And push comes to shove, guys, you will lose people. You may lose one today, two tomorrow. But as more and more of your minority population start banding together and more commentators talk on this, like I would love to hear what Byron Saxton and The Rock have to say about this. Let's not forget, Rock is black. He is black and Samoan, but he black. Rocky Johnson, Rocky Maivia is black. So your most famous, your most high electrifying person is black. Titus O'Neil, who was your #1 dad of the year, who has done all of this stuff, he is not only black, but he is an Omega. And if you don't know about Omega Psi Phi, that fraternity is no joke. My uncle is from Omega Psi Phi, from LSU. He is Jackal of the class of 86, if y'all want to get it popping. So there is a network behind this. There is a voice behind this, and I'm pleading with you, WWE, to make the change. Be the forefront. Y'all wanted to step out and be the forefront with the women's revolution and women's evolution, and they're no longer divas and that they're superstars. Let's say we are not going to have racists in our superstar crew. We will not take away from what Hulk Hogan did in the ring, but guess what? We are not going to condone who he is as a person. So he may be in the Hall of Fame for his actions in the ring, but he is not a representation of WWE, nor will he ever be until he can prove to the WWE universe that he is a changed man. Because he needs to change. He hasn't changed. That's all I have to say on it, guys. I'm going to get back to work. But light and love. Leave a comment. I'll be back with my Maddie and Kaya review. Bye.